Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, Family First Reviews. Casey and I are in something very interesting today, something we've actually been looking forward to doing for a very long time. What is it?
It is the Cadillac XT6, their midsize SUV entry. And gosh, I have to say, Cadillac is a brand that we have been rooting for a very long time.
Yeah, we like Cadillacs, or I guess I should say we want to like Cadillacs.
We want to, yes.
It goes all the way back to the 90s, valeting cars during the summer. Really liked Cadillacs. I'd get in them, and just the tactile feel and the luxury appointments really were kind of world-class leading, unless you wanted to pay, crazy money for a Bentley or something like that.
An S-Class or.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the problem was, since then, everybody else ran right past them, and they've been playing catch up, and they've been trying to figure out who they are as a brand. And like we said, I think we've really been cheering for them. We want them to excel. And so here we are in the XT6, their newest crossover. It's a 3-row crossover, and we're going to check it out and see, does it move the brand forward, or is it still trying to play catch up? All that and next. All right, first question I got to ask about the Cadillac, does it look good?
It looks really good.
Okay.
And my favorite thing about it is that in the past, I felt like Cadillac has just slapped some chrome trim on a Suburban or something.
Right.
And to differentiate their cars. And this is not that way. One, it's a lot more brushed aluminum and polished aluminum kind of look to it.
Yeah.
And everywhere you see it, it's a much more integrated design. It doesn't look like it was just stuck on there at the factory as an afterthought. It's a really good looking car.
Yeah, they really went out of their way to style the car. The front end of the car is the new Cadillac corporate look. It's sleek up front, and I kind of think of it a little bit differently. There's a lot of really nice designed elements all the way around the car. I'm just not sure as a whole when I walk around it, I love it. I think it kind of looks a little big. It kind of reminds me a little more of a minivan style look on the profile, a little heavy on the bottom. But overall, I do think it looks pretty nice. It's a very nice finished, tailored look for a vehicle.
Yeah, I can see that, especially in the kind of rear 3/4 window area. It's a little bulky, but I do love the nose of this car and the direction Cadillac's going. And a little thing I like is that the Cadillac medallions on the sides of the car don't have the paint fill in them.
Right, they're that monochrome look. They look sharp. It's a nice differentiation from the emblem that's on the front of the car.
I'd like to see them go with that in the front and rear as well.
Okay, what about the interior? Did they do a good job here?
I think this is another area where they've taken a big step forward, because just like the outside, I've always felt like the inside of Cadillacs have just been a little bit of leather slapped on top of whatever GM product they're building the platform on. And I don't think that's the case in here at all. It feels like they did a real workover on all the body paneling. All the touch points feel great. The leather feels great. Now in the looks department,
yeah, I think
in
it's
the eye of the beholder.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I think when this came out and we saw photos of the car, we initially really didn't like it. There was too much going on up here with the veneer treatments. I mean, this has got the carbon fiber element to it. When it's wood, it's too much wood, right? But I think sitting in it, I do feel like it's pretty nice. We've got brushed aluminum. We've got some nice leather stitching, some Alcantara on the headliner, a couple of treatments across the dash. I mean, overall, I do think they did a really nice job. There are some shortcomings, and that's really mostly related to buttons and ergonomics. We've got this center controller for the nav, which I think the intent was really good. I think in execution, it's not all that easy to use. And the same kind of goes even on the steering wheel with the buttons and controls. There's things that you think you ought to be able to push, but you can't push them. and there's behaviors that are built into some scroll buttons, and it just doesn't make sense.
Work that well.
Yeah, it doesn't work that well. So,
yeah.
you know, I think it looks nice. It looks like a Cadillac should look. I just think there's some things they still got to work out and move forward with. All right, Casey, one of the things we have found on the car that we really like is this backup camera system. It's really a 360 camera system with a lot of different views. Check it out.
Tons of views. I think this one's really cool. You can kind of see a big overhead view from either the front or the back. You can toggle between them. Same for your just kind of direct overhead view of the nose or the rear of the car. Lots of really cool stuff in here. Big rear camera view, and you can access these anytime while you're parked, so that's cool. This is looking ahead, so you can get a real good view of what's in front of you or what's behind you. This is cool when you're parking to really see where you're at in relation to curbs. I like that. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. Overhead view, which I really like. The 360, which you can combine with your normal rear view camera. And then built into this version is video recording for all of this. So this essentially serves as your collision camera in case you're in an accident or anything. You can prove that it was or wasn't your fault. Okay, guys, so we gotta be honest. We took this car on the NurBurbRing.
It was a mistake.
It was a mistake.
The car was screaming out in agony.
Yeah, it was painful for the car and for us. So we thought we'd bring it out to where the car really excels, and that's on the freeway.
Going about 70 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And it's Serenity.
It is Serenity. It's got lots of horsepower, and it will cruise in comfort for days.
Yeah, so if you're chewing up a lot of highway miles, you're taking road trips, or you've got a long commute that's mostly freeway, it's going to be fine. If you're driving around town, parking lots, back roads, this is not the car for you. You really need to look elsewhere. The brakes are really big. The powertrain really works overtime, and it's heavy. It's a heavy car. You took a platform that really wasn't designed for this kind of weight, and you tack on a bunch of luxury amenities.
Yep.
And it really starts to show. It's pretty heavy.
Yep, so the car is great on the highway. And speaking of, this is a family channel. So for a family road trip, if you're doing a lot of that with your kids, this is a good car for that. It's going to do it in style and comfort. And speaking of, I think we should show them car seats and storage.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we stuck Casey back in the third row. CarseatCommano. We got to see how this works for the fam. What's it like? It's pretty good. Let's start with the car seats. And y'all may have noticed in our videos, we're using this Graco extend-to-fit car seat. And the reason for that is with 2 kids and 2 cars, we've owned 4 of these at one time or another, and we love them. The thing we like about it is the high weight rating, the extendable footrest, so that you can keep your kids rear facing as long as possible, presuming your car will fit the seat. If you're interested in that car seat that Casey mentioned, check it out in the description below and go buy one. Check it out. And speaking of, this is one of the biggest cars on the market, midsize SUVs, and it is pretty big. We moved this second row up a little bit to give me plenty of knee room back here all the way in the back. And Brian was able to sit there comfortably. I was still able to sit here behind him with plenty of knee room, plenty of shoulder room. So as 3-row midsize SUVs go, this is a pretty comfortable car to have 6 or 7 adults in. And like I said, it still fits the big rear-facing car seat with plenty of comfort for the person sitting in front of it. So for a big family, size-wise, this car's a winner. All right, so while we stuck Casey in the back seat, I do just want to say one thing. A lot of times on these types of vehicles, once you get into that second row, they really skimp on materials. They did not skimp anywhere on this. You get a lot of nice leather. You still get that Alcantara and that carbon fiber in the door. It's a nice place to be. Rear storage is pretty good. We've actually got a pretty deep storage well. That is a lot. That's a lot. Nice extra space on the side. And of course, in the luxury segment, you can't be bothered to be pulling levers or straps. So we've got the power down of the third row. Look at that. Powers up as well. And I like this feature. I can actually pop down the second row from back here as well. Really cool.
But does it pass the stroller test?
Of course it passes the stroller test.
Of course, with plenty of room to spare. You know, another nice family feature that I've discovered is this mirror. If you look at it, it looks like a normal mirror. You can check on your kids, see what's going on back there, but flip this down and this becomes a camera. So it's using your rear view camera all the time, gives you a great field of view across the whole car, no blind spots. And the nice thing is, if you've got tons of strollers and gear and stuff packed up back there, it's not obstructing your rear view mirror because the camera doesn't care. It's great.
It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've crawled all over this thing. I think it's kind of time to wrap it up. And this has been an interesting experience for us. We started off talking about how much we've been cheering for Cadillac. But I think we initially were a little sour on the XT6, mostly because of driving.
Yeah, maybe a little too cynical.
Maybe a little too cynical. I think that's right, because the more we've gotten into it, I think we've learned to appreciate. Very well thought out for the family. It's a very solid 3-row crossover.
It is, and it's luxurious.
Yeah, it's got a lot of nice touches to it and a lot of functionality. So if you're really looking for something and you don't want like a giant Escalade or a giant Tahoe, you know, something a little smaller, but you want that luxury, this is a pretty good option.
It really is. It is on the pricey side, but when you really start to look at it, there are some nice tech features in here that aren't that common in the industry. The night vision, the DVR recording of the dash cam.
That's cool.
And this rear view mirror that I'm not really seeing anybody else do.
I wish they would. It's a really cool piece of tech.
Yeah.
Very safe, very nice. And you get the things like the power third row, the power second row, this huge moonroof, Alcantara suede headliners. It's a nice piece of kit.
It is, and the leather seats do feel premium all the way from the front, all the way to the third row. It's a pretty nice luxury package.
So all in all, if this is a preview of where Cadillac is going, I think they're headed in the right direction, and I can't wait to see what's next.
Yep.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. As always, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, check us out on all our social media platforms, share it with your friends, man. We want more people taking a look at our content, and we'll see you next time.